From the South Dakota Badlands to the English countryside, today's filmmaker has taken audiences to some visually stunning places. Yes, we are in season 3 of Oscar Rewind, and today I am looking at Sony Pictures Classics' The Rider. Written and directed by Chloe Zhao, the film premiered at Cannes in 2017 before its release a year later in 2018. What's up, everybody? Cinephile Mike here, and it is a new episode of Oscar Rewind where I look back at the films of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these throwbacks. We've got some really good ones in this chapter. We're now in Chapter 3, Early Visions. This chapter focuses on early work from the other Oscar-nominated directors and those who directed Oscar-nominated titles. Today we are looking at the film that helped announce Chloe Zhao as one of cinema's most exciting new voices. Now, if you've never seen The Rider, here's the quick spoiler-free setup. Being the small-town success story, Brady Blackburn, played by Brady Jandreau, is known for his ability to train horses and, even more importantly, rodeo. However, after a devastating accident in the saddle leaves him with brain damage, damage to his right hand, and a proclivity for seizures, his rodeo future suddenly comes to an end. At home, he deals with a fairly tenuous relationship with his dad, Tim, played by Wayne Blackburn, a gambler who doesn't manage the family's money well, and a good relationship with his autistic sister, Lily, played by Lily Blackburn. Trying to find a way to make money to help his sister and him, given Dad, he takes a job at a local supermarket, but the pull of the rodeo keeps calling. And despite seeing the aftermath of what his accident has done to him, and also seeing what a different accident had done to his best friend and brother from another mother, Lane Scott, played by Lane Scott, he can't get away, and now he's left to determine what he is to do with the rest of his life. Part biography and part family drama, Chloe Zhao has a fascinating character study in Brady. When she was in the South Dakota Badlands and she met him, she realized Brady could act, and she developed the story around him. I won't spoil all of the elements here as to say what's fact and what's fiction, but here's what I will say. The rodeo accidents that harmed Brady and Lane are very real. So disclaimer, prepare yourselves. When you see the videos, they play them back in the film. That's all real footage. It's a little difficult to watch at times. As she did with her Oscar-winning Nomadland, here she used a majority of non-actors and developed the film around their real lives and experiences. And as a result, all these performances, the authenticity is beautiful. And you may be watching this, and if you didn't know, you may see a moment when you start to question some of the acting choices. But again, not everyone is an actor, so it's that almost cinema verité approach that works really well. However, I have to say, to that end, Brady carries the majority of the film, and his performance exudes some very strong charisma that could carry him into the acting world if that was a choice he wanted to make. He did pick up a couple of credits after this film. His face is very expressive, and he just has a natural air to him that makes him approachable. Like, you'd want to see him play a range of different characters. Visually, I am not surprised because I've seen Nomadland. I saw this season's Hamnet. Zhao works well with her teams to punch up the beautiful landscapes and the looks of the country around us that she's in. I mean, there's so many stunning, almost picture-perfect postcard moments that you can't help but feel impressed by Joshua James Richards' cinematography. Also, given that the film is also a lot of times we're watching Brady in these realms, a lot of it is dialogue-free, so your ears can't help but pay attention to the country-inspired score by Nathan Halpam. Both the moments of joy, not as many, the moments of frustration, a few more, they're felt. My biggest issue sometimes, though, is with the film, the plot. I felt that there were sometimes a few too many extra strings that Zhao worked into the screenplay that couldn't quite tie off at the end. However, the ending will leave you feeling something. It might be different depending on people, but you will be left with an emotional response. Now, let's talk about box office and awards. After the film's run, it had made $2,419,031 domestically, $1,018,093 internationally, giving it a worldwide take, $3,436,124. Critically, the film sits with a 97% tomato meter from 187 reviews, an 82% popcorn meter from over 1,000 audience reviews. Award season-wise, some highlights of the almost 90 nominations and wins for the film include the Art Cinema Award at Cannes, where it premiered, It was named one of the top 10 independent films by the National Board of Review. It won Best Feature, and it was a nod for Best Film by Audience Vote at the Gotham Awards. It was a British Independent Film Award for Best International Film nominee, and there were 4 Independent Spirit Award nods: Best Feature, Director, Cinematography, and Editing. And the 5th award, because you see that number 5 on the poster, Zhao won the Bonnie Award, which is a grant, not a major competition category, but she was awarded a grant presented to mid-career female directors. So I'm sure some of that went into Nomadland. Look, The Rider is beautifully made in its simplicity, something Zhao has practically turned into a trademark. For me, The Rider is a solid 4-star film. If you would like to catch this one, it is available for digital rental or purchase on most platforms. No streaming information as of this time. And that's where we're going to leave it for episode 20 of season 3 of Oscar Rewind. And we're just getting into chapter 3. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more. Head back into the playlist so that you can see what happened in chapter 1 and 2. And let me know in the comments, have you ever watched a movie and not realized that most of the cast weren't professional actors? There are some good ones out there. Please follow me on all social platforms and on Letterboxd, and check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for more exclusive cinematic content. I will see everyone for the next rewind, but until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.